He seemed to enjoy discussing his various personalities, talking about them as if they were acquaintances, sometimes old friends, and always he referred to them in the third person. Larson had never spoken to Martin Karp when Karp was anyone but his genuine identity, but it was J. Jefferson who 4 years ago had shot presidential candidate Governor Hugh Drake, and who inadvertently had been betrayed at the trial by Martin Karp. That Karp and J. Jefferson occupied the same body along with 4 other identities had resulted in an insanity decree and Karp's confinement for life here at Belmont.
Jay had to shoot the governor,
Karp said after slow consideration.
He's sorry he had to kill, but he's also sorry that people don't understand he did it for his country, for the way of life that everyone but a few people like Jay, with the guts to see things as they really are, takes for granted.
Tell me where you are so I can send my private plane to get you here.
Don't you want to tell me what this is all about?
In due time, not on the telephone. Surely a man of your background can well understand that.
Sure,
Frost said, nodding his head to the receiver.
Are you near an airport? Where are you?
New Orleans.
Good. My plane will be there in under 5 hours. The pilot will meet you in the VIP lounge. You'll be expected. He'll recognize you by the eye patch. Incidentally.
The voice left the word hanging.
Incidentally what?
Why the patch over your left eye?
Frost smiled, saying,
Well, it only makes sense, Mr. Fairborn. I don't have a left eye anymore. If I wore a patch over my right eye, I wouldn't be able to see anything.
There was dead silence on the line, and Frost started to think Fairborn had hung up. But finally the resonant voice said,
I like a man with a sense of humor. Too bad that wasn't funny.
I spent the rest of Friday evening in Queens. I met Jack Bartlett at a diner on Queens Boulevard in Forest Hills where I bought him dinner. Since I wasn't hungry yet, I had a few coffees while we talked about my problem. Bartlett had been an occasional stakeout partner of mine when I was on the force. Shortly before I resigned, he transferred to the auto theft division. He was still there when I came back to the city and still a sergeant, and still a friend. On one of our last jobs together, a couple of thugs tried to mug him with razor blades. I'd shot both of the bastards. After I'd filled him in on what I was doing now, he asked,
So why don't you lean on this girlfriend of Compton's, or on her father?
I shrugged. I'm not in your shoes anymore, Jack. Bartlett waved to the waitress and asked for a beer. The place was packed with moviegoers from the Midway just up the boulevard. He said,
I guess it makes a difference, not carrying a real badge.
He grinned. You bet it does, I conceded.
Mr. Wexler?
Yes, Edmund Scott.
Tallman extended his hand.
I'd appreciate some advice on investments.
By all means. Jonathan Wexler was on the sundown side of 50, overweight and balding and parsimonious by nature. As president of the First National Bank, he had few equals in the Bakersfield power structure. He was pleasant, but quietly arrogant, and no one called him John. His office, which was done in lush leather and darkly paneled wood, bespoke his position in the business community. He motioned Tallman to a wingback armchair.
How may I be of service, Mr. Scott? I've inquired around,
Tallman said, lighting a long cigar.
I'm told you're the man who knows everything about anything in Bakersfield.
Hardly that, Wexler said with a smug look. People tend to overrate the attributes of a banker.
You're too modest, Mr. Wexler.
Not at all, Mr. Scott. In my own small way, I merely serve the public interest. I believe you mentioned investments? Tallman's manner was one of bluff assurance. Yet with some finesse, he was playing on Wexler's high and mighty self-importance. He leaned forward now with a conspiratorial grin.
I trust our conversation will be treated with the utmost confidence.
A banker, Wexler said pompously, approaches his work somewhat like a priest. Anything you say will never leave this office.